Hi everybody, I'm so excited to be doing this video and I am so honored that I'm doing this for Jennifer Allwood's Paint Finish of the Month group. And I am a painter in the Middle East and I live in Bahrain currently, but I'm soon going to be moving across one of the other states here in the Middle East. Painting journey has been amazing for me because I keep getting inspired with so many gorgeous, amazing, talented painters out there. Today what I've chosen, my inspiration comes from these old antique Argentinian and Spanish doors. Wooden piece. It's an antique piece. It's about 40-50 years old, and I was lucky to find it in one of the old houses here in Bahrain. Now Bahrain is right next to Dubai, by the way, so I'm just trying to give you an idea that there is a lot of cultural depth in this area of the world, and I just love these grooves. I just love the thickness of the door. As you can see, the inside is still untouched. Colors on here. So this side's going to be bluish, yellowish, reddish, and this side's going to be orangish, yellowish, and greenish. So my job will be to bring out both these color palettes together and merge them in the middle of here. After I'm done with the doors, we are going to treat the drawer. And the concept is to paint this door with a mix of blues, gorgeous blues, a little bit of yellow here and there, a little bit of red here and there, and then we're going to proceed to this one. So the color primarily that I'm using is Peacoat by Country Chic. This is the color. It's a very gorgeous navy bluish color. So I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the door. I'm going to do the grooves later on, so don't worry about the sides of the doors or drawers. I'm just going to, once I'm done with the frontal, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to open the doors and do the sides as well. I'm going in with DIY's Mermaid Tail, one of my favorite colors as well, and I'm going in with the same brush. I don't really change my brushes too much because whenever I'm doing a blending job, it makes the job easier to blend all of it in. If my brush has a little bit of paint previously, the previous paint on it. So we're just going to do light blending here with the blue. And the same thing I'm going to do here. The blue is still wet, by the way. The dark blue is still wet. So I'm just doing the middle with Mermaid Tail. Okay. I'm going over the frame slightly, not too much, because I don't want it there to be it's not a geometrical shape that we are going for. It's not as if I want these two rectangles in lighter colors, because there will be shades of light and dark all over the door. This is English Yellow by Annie Sloan, and I'm just going to add a little bit of English yellow here, a little bit of English yellow here, and here, and a little bit of English yellow here inside. So if you can see, I'm randomly adding this. There is no proper scheme in my head. I'm doing whatever I think is going to look pretty. Alright, so I have just done this and this. Alright, and now I have applied this yellow. I am going in with Fresh Mustard of Country Chic. It's a slightly darker yellow, and I'm going in with this shade, with this shade here, with this shade here, this shade here. Alright, so now I have to blend it all in, and then I'm going to go in with my red. So which color I'm going to blend it in with? And now it's time to use my spray water. Rather than spraying directly on the piece, I like spraying on my brush because then the water is in my control more when it's on my brush rather than when I'm spraying directly on the piece. So I am going back again with my navy blue color, which was pea coat. So I've just diluted pea coat because I've sprayed a lot of water on my brush, and I'm going lightly here, lightly like this, just to build up layers and layers of color here. And now no color, just a little bit of water along that brush. On the brush, it's going right in. Alright. More water on the brush, and I'm going in here. Yellow to stand out, but not too much. So I'm just going to do a little bit of coating my brush, not a lot. So I like how it looks now. Alright, so that's how it is looking right about now. Emperor Silk in Annie Sloan. I'll show you the shade. It's this red. It's quite red. And I'm just going to wait for a little while for this paint to dry up. And I think I am going to go here with the red. And now I'm just going to spray my brush with water and going to blend, blend, blend. Blend, blend, blend. Blend, I'm going to go over here and maybe just a little bit more here. And then again, dip my brush in water and no other color, and I'm just lightening the effect with more red here. And I'm going to go over here with a more brighter version, and I'm going to spray water on my brush and blend some more. I think it looks, I like it actually. I think it looks quite nice. What do you think about it? There are so many layers that I'm going to put on top even now. I'm just going to probably make this one a little bit more bluish. So I'm taking more of mermaid tail because I think it has to be a little lighter here. It has to be a little lighter here. So I'm going to go in with a lot of mermaid tail here inside because I want this to look a little lighter than how it is looking right now. So, because more mermaid tail here. All right. I just took a little bit of English yellow and I mixed it here because I do want the blended look to be there, and same is the case here. With a little bit of light mermaid tail here as well because I don't want it to look dark, a bit too dark. So I'm just going to go in. It's totally instinct based. It's up to you. How you perceive a certain door. This is my version of blending. That I just keep looking at this piece and I just keep thinking that, should I add more of this, more of that? And then something comes out of it, and let's see what comes out of this piece here. Alright, I think this edge looks nice and bright, and this edge I want some darkness to remain here, so I'm going to go in with dark blue with the same brush, and I'm going to go over here just so that this side remains dark because I need this side to be a little I dip slightly it in slight red, the rest of the edge, just to blend it with the blue and make a gorgeous purple out of it. Alright, now I need my brush, which I was doing red. The rule is simple. Don't mix the blues and reds and the yellows together, because if you want the colors to stand out like I do, so don't mix the two when you're using it, when you're putting it on your piece. And later on with blending, you can do whatever you want. Right, so I'm letting this one dry out, this side, and I'm going to go ahead with this one, which is another door that I saw, which is greenish, oranges and all these colors. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to try to do one side inspired by one door and one side inspired by the other, and we'll see what comes out of it. So I washed my brushes, and I have both French tip Paint Pixie brushes, which is Amsterdam Green by Annie Sloan. It's a gorgeous bottle, a little darker than bottle green color. And like we did on this side, the background was a little darker. So I'm going to do the same thing here and go in with dark green here. The whole frame I'm going to do dark green, and then you're going to add colors on the sides. Fancy Farm Girl by DIY Paints, guys. Fancy Farm Girl. I love this color. So I'm just putting some of it here inside, just randomly. You don't have to follow any order, and we're going to blend it all in. So I want a little bit of this here and a little bit of this here. So both up and down, I'm using it in my rectangles. Alright, that's it. And I'm going to add a little bit of Summer Crush after Fancy Farm Girl. My last few drops of Summer Crush going in. And I'm using the same brush. I forgot to change my brush, but that's okay. Alright. I'm just going to add some here. Alright, so it's really random right now. We will probably be thinking, what is this woman thinking and why is she doing what she's doing? But now I'm going to go in with English yellow and blend it all, and I'm now using a different brush because I don't want my yellow to be diluted with water or with green color right now. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing like I did, adding a little bit of yellow here and a little bit of yellow there. Alright, okay, and a little bit here. Alright, so this is that, and I am just thinking which primary color should I start blending it with. So the brush that still had orange and green on it, I'm now putting a little bit of water on my brush, not on my piece, as you can see, and now I'm going in, blending, going in, lightening the impact of all these colors a little. Let's do green first. More Summer Crush on my brush, and I'm going in here. Cowgirl coral over here and over here, and now I'm going to just use water and a little bit of red, which is English Empress Silk, by the way, of Annie Sloan. I'm just going to blend in nicely. And then take some green, light green, Fancy Farm Girl, is it? Yeah, blending in with Amsterdam green, which is a darker green, and blending in with cowbell coral, and we get this effect. Alright, and I'm going to blend in with dark green and over this side, because I want the sides, these sides, to be dark, like this side. And just going to go over again this one. Okay, I'll have to go to that side to see how things are looking from here. I added some water and I'm blending in this pink with the green. So as you can see, you know, half the time when I'm making a video, I'm worried, am I getting it all on camera or not, or can you see this or not? It's pretty challenging, you know, for a person who is technologically challenged as me. So I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna go in with red now. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of red on my brush, and I'm just putting it here. Not for any other reason, just because I want to. Trying to just figure out how much to add or not to add, or sorry guys, my head is blocking your view, but I think I need more orange here because my orange is getting all dark. Just a little bit more, and a little bit lower as well, a little bit more orange here. By the time the front dries up, what I have done is one coat of graphite is on one side, and I am thinking that I will do Country Chic's limited edition color Reverie on one side. It's a gorgeous greenish blue, not exactly teal, not exactly blue, not exactly green. I don't know how would I define this color. So what I'm doing is I'm starting it with the brush, and I'm just going over here like this, and going over here like this. Alright, around this, because the door hinges are here and I just want to paint around it. And now if you can see, I'm just going in the crevices with this color. And now I'm going to go in with my roller and start rolling some paint on. I haven't added any water here because I just want one nice coat. And this is Empress Silk from Annie Sloan. I'm doing one side totally red. So I'm going completely wild on this piece with colors, with patterns, and basically I just want to make it a really rich piece, you know. Straight up job with a roller because it's much faster and less messier. I'm a very let it dry, and I think it needs one more coat, but I want a little bit of black to see through. So let's see how we go about it. Alright guys, so what I've done so far is I have done some blending and shading here, 2-3 layers of colors here, and on the sides, one side is that one, the side that's right next to the green door is painted in red, Empress Silk, Annie Sloan, and this side is painted in Country Chic's Reverie, which is a limited edition color. It's a mix of teal, blue and green. And now what I've done is, in order to, okay, that door, the two doors that are my inspiration for this piece, they have some painted flowers which look like transferred images to me. I don't know because I haven't seen the doors in person or haven't looked at them closely, but what I am doing is I'm doing my own rendition of this, and I found some very nice image transfers by Iron Orchid Designs, and I have put one. I have cut it in two. I'm using this one. This is the one that I'm using, and one is this that I've cut in two. So what I've done is, this was in a little bit more than A4 size. I've cut it in the middle, and I've put one flower here and one on the corner. So the objective is to have flowers on the lower portion of this blue door, the red flowers, and the other one that I was showing you, this Iron Orchid Designs transfer. This has a white bunch up and a pink bunch down. So I have taken white bunch and I've put it here. So what I plan to do is, after putting some white flowers here, maybe I'm going to stencil or free hand paint here something which goes with the whole image. The theme is very boho in its essence. I'm going for a totally bohemian, colorful, vibrant vibe for the piece. So I am picking out all the patterns or all the things which, you know, when you I just recently did a nest of tables and I named it a party in my garden, and when I'm doing this piece, some sort of similar theme is going on in my head, that it's a lot of color, there's a lot of there are a lot of flowers and a lot of happiness going on. What I'm going to do now is, they gave you the spatula type thing, so you can rub it like this. Right now I haven't removed the sheet. What you do is, the transfers come like this. The transfers come with a white sheet behind them, and when you start transferring the image, you remove this white sheet. So now I know the positioning of my flower here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to remove that sheet, and I am just going to go paste it without the sheet here. So my flower is going to be somewhere over here. Maybe transferred with the heat that is generated by rubbing the plastic sheet, the plastic film against the door. And I haven't put up any sealers on top right now because this image needs a chalk painted surface to glue itself on. So right now, as of right now, there are no sealers on the surface. It's just paint, and we're just going to transfer these three images like this. I've removed the sheet, so I'm ready for my transfer, and I'm just going to catch you in a little bit. Right. Okay guys, so what I'm doing here, I'm lightly rubbing it against this, so the thin image is coming on to my piece. It's a good workout for your arms, I believe. Okay, I'm just seeing how much the image has been transferred. It's quite transferred. Let me see. Can I remove it? I'm lightly removing it. As you can see now, just this film is coming on my hands, and this is already transferred. Alright. And let me check from the top as well if it is transferred or not. Easy. So this has been transferred, and now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go over it with a little bit of my paint. Once all the transfers are done, I'm going to go over it with the paint just to blend it with the rest of the things. So now I'm going to do the same here and the same here, and I'll just catch you in a little while. Alright? Alright guys, so what I've done is I've transferred that image that I showed you a little bit. It's going on here, and it's a little bit of text only, and a little bit of flowers visible here, and then there is a dark red rose here, and I have just taken a little bit of navy blue that I was painting the sides in first, which was, I think, petticoat or peacoat by Country Chic, and I've gone over the sides so that I can make the parts disappear that I don't want from that my image transfer to be obvious here. So that's what I've done here, and what I'm going to do now is, and there's a little bit of white bunch there, you can see, not white like off whitish. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create some stenciling on that side in white color, and let's see how that turns out. So for white, my personal favorite is Annie Sloan's Old White, but right now I have Rust-Oleum's linen white. So that's what I'm going to use for stenciling, and I have got a couple of stencils right here which I'm going to use. You don't have to be very precise. I always use sponges for stenciling, and I am going to add a little bit of white here. Why am I using white? Because there's so much color that a little bit of white has to I think it's gonna make everything pop nicely on so many colors. So I am just taking a little bit of white on my sponge. Always remember that the trick for good stenciling is there shouldn't be too much paint on your sponge, and less is more. And this is a normal flower stencil that I have. I'm going to stand up now, go on the other side, and do a little bit of light stenciling here. Alright. I'm just randomly stenciling. Some stencil is going to go over my transfer without any specific position or anything. I just want it to look a little bit like this, just a hint of a stencil. Alright, so we are developing our flowers here. So I just use this flower stencil and just use a little bit of it here. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the same stencil in white here, or may not be in white, probably. I'm just going to take let me see what I want here. Maybe that same white. Just random. Not too much planning, nothing. Just a hint of a flower, okay? And now I'm going to develop some colors here. I'm going to go over here with pink, and I'm going to go over here with orange, and that's how we're going to develop. So just bear with me while I take out another stencil and go over that bit with a little bit of orange. What I've done is I've just asked my husband to hold the stencil for me. I'm going to go in with a little bit of as you can see, I'm not taping my stencil down, which is against all the rules of stenciling maybe, but I am trying to create images as I go. So I am just dipping my stencil brush in a little bit of Summer Crush, which is orange, which is the primary color I used here, and this is Summer Crush, and I'm going over here with a little bit of tapping motion. As you can see, you can use this tapping motion to create nice stencils on anything that you're working on, basically. Alright, this is orange, and I'll request my husband not to move it at all. And I'm looking for my other stencil brush that I can't find. Okay, I found it. And I'm going to dip it in Fresh Mustard by Country Chic. This is the yellow color. And I'm going over this bit here. Not too obvious, so I'm going to mix with a little bit of white because it's not standing out too much. So I am just doing white on top of yellow. Okay, 1 second. more orange here. So my stenciling is not very defined or very neat because the doors that are my inspiration, they don't have very defined patterns. So I am taking in a little bit of more white and I'm going in again here. Just a rough pattern of sorts. And now I think we're just going to remove it and see how it looks. I think it looks pretty amazing, don't you think? It's a little bit of dark and a little bit of light, and I think I love where this thing is going, and I am just going to create something here as well, and a little bit more here, but here I'm going to go in with Shocking Pink now, which is Kissing Booth. It's one of my absolute favorite colors in DIY paints. So this. Alright, so I have this gorgeous sunflower type flower stencil here. So I am going to use Kissing Booth by DIY, which is a very nice shocking pink color. I really love this beautiful, beautiful fresh pink. And I am going to do some overlapping here, but I'm not happy the way my stencil is coming on here because it's a recipe for disaster. Okay, I'm just going to dab it lightly. Just remove this. Okay guys, I'm just stenciling more, so I have chosen a leaf and I am stenciling the leaf here. So, but I think it's disappearing. Let's see if it is disappearing or not. Alright, so I'm trying to show you how I'm doing the drawer of this piece, the drawer, bottom drawer, and I have to take the drawer out after that to do this area underneath. So I'm taking Fancy Farm Girl from DIY Paints, and I'm taking Mermaid Tail of DIY Paints, and I'm taking Peacoat, which is a navy blue that I'm using on this piece, and I have dipped my brush in a little bit of navy blue, just the tip, and I have dipped this brush lightly into water, not too much, just the tip again, because this drawer already has Annie Sloan's graphite on it, and just roughly around the edges. You don't have to be now I'm going to go in with Fancy Farm Girl with the same brush, and I haven't put any water right now on it because I will do the blending later. I'm just dumping some paint on my drawer like this, and in the middle I'm going with Mermaid Tail again with the same brush and no extra water. Alright, now I have dipped a bit of my the tip of this brush in water, and now I'm going over like this, just for blending purposes. And like this. So this is the other side of the piece. I'm going to make it into stripes using black first. So I'm going to generously spray the side with water like I did before with the other one. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to generously spray it with water. That spray is not working nice. This is more even. Alright. So I'm going to apply a healthy dose of dark blackish grey here. The colors are going to be almost the same with a hint of black here and there. The reason is I want the black to mix in with the other colors and create a slightly dark effect on this side of the cabinet. Because this side is a little darker, the color palette is a little different from the other side. Alright, now I am going to mix in my shocking pink, which is the kissing boot, and it's mixed with black. The effect that I want for the color here is and now I am going to add orange with the same brush. I'm not changing my brushes. And I am now going to put in yellow. Again, I am not changing the brush. I'm just lightly, with no pressure at all on the paint, with a very light touch. I'm just wiping off some of the paint back. Just wipe off some of the paint back. See how dirty the sponge looks? Just lightly, just to get some of the bottom layer to show, to have a chippy kind of effect people go for, or these doors look like chippy, old. It's not really chippy, but you know, the layer underneath is showing, so that's what I'm doing. Alright, so I've just put it in water for a little while, and I'm going to go over it with a bit of blue. Just because I don't like this, the way this black is coming onto this yellow. So I have taken my brush, which already had some blue paint on, and I'm mixing it up here and here. More yellow. Hi, so we are in the last stages of this completing this cabinet. What I'm going to do, sorry, my face is too close to the camera, but I have to show you. I am just randomly making some flowers because the theme is just a few flowers and very bohemian and gypsy type. So I am just adding a few leaves here and there. clear wax, and this is, I think, Paint Pixie's wax brush, and I am just going over this like this, so you can see the change in color. And I'm just gonna wipe off the excess wax with a lint-free cloth. All t-shirts would do as well. And I'm going to repeat this whole procedure all around. Thank you for watching, guys.